Now, from WTVM, this is News Leader Nightside.
The hand counting of ballots will continue in Florida, but their validity is still in question. Hello, everybody. I'm Wayne Bennett.
And I'm Dee Armstrong. Thanks so much for being with us. Now, as we move close to the day 10 in the presidential vote count, we appear to be no closer to naming our new president.
The Florida Supreme Court has cleared the way for counties to conduct hand recounts of election ballots. That decision means local election boards in 4 counties can keep on counting. Still unresolved, however, is whether those tallies will mean anything. Secretary of State Katherine Harris has said she will not accept any ballots counted after last Tuesday's deadline.
Now, the Gore campaign says the court ruling is a victory. The Bush campaign is calling it unimportant, and the Court of Appeals in Atlanta has yet to be heard from. Some are still saying this case will go all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court. Carla Wall has the latest from Tallahassee.
They are still working hard at this hour, hand-counting ballots in Palm Beach County. The big question, though, is whether the results will count. In Palm Beach County, workers are once again counting ballots, one by one, after getting a green light from the state Supreme Court. The unanimous decision was quickly hailed as a victory by Democrats.
I doubt if the Florida Supreme Court meant to have these counts go forward only to have them be ignored.
Not so fast, say the Republicans. Just because the count is being done doesn't mean it has to be added to the final tally. In fact, appearing on Primetime Live with his wife, vice presidential candidate Dick Cheney said as far as they're concerned, the election is over Saturday.
I believe that once you take the absentee ballots and add them to the already certified count, whether it shows Al Gore ahead or whether it shows George Bush ahead, that'll be the result. And we are living by that. We're prepared to live by that, win, lose, or die.
The next deadline is midnight Friday, when overseas absentee ballots are due. State officials expect between 2,000 and 3,000 votes, and they are already finding problems with the postmarks and the signatures. Palm Beach County expects more legal headaches, too, when they finally finish their hand count and try to amend the results.
Well, I would imagine that's going to be the next round of litigation, because Secretary Harris has already indicated that she's not going to accept them.
Tomorrow morning, a judge is expected to rule on Secretary of State Harris's decision. Whatever he decides, it almost certainly will be appealed to the state Supreme Court. Reporting live in Tallahassee, Florida, I'm Carla Wall. Now back to you.
We have some sad news to report out of Atlanta tonight. The Reverend Hosea Williams, a veteran civil rights activist, is dead. He died in Atlanta following a long battle with cancer. Williams was an associate of Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. and active in the effort to register African-American voters in the 1960s. Williams was also one of the leaders of the Selma to Montgomery March in 1965. In recent years, he was involved in efforts to feed the homeless in Atlanta, organizing Thanksgiving and Christmas dinners for the poor. Hosea Williams, dead at the age of 74.
A Columbus man has filed a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against the city. He claims police officers used excessive force and actually ran over him with their car. Reggie Thomas says he suffered permanent damage to his leg from the incident, as well as head injuries. He sits in jail on unrelated charges, but his attorney announced Thursday a civil rights lawsuit has been filed.
We are asking for compensatory damages, and we are asking, very importantly, for punitive damages. The total amount of damages that we are seeking is $11 million.
The NAACP is also involved. Police say they chased Thomas after he ran from them while they were trying to arrest him. The department is still investigating the actions of the officers.
The Coca-Cola Company is agreeing to pay $192.5 million to settle a racial discrimination suit. The Atlanta-based soft drink maker also agrees to have its employment practices reviewed by an outside group. The lawsuit claimed Coca-Cola discriminated against black salaried employees in pay, promotions, and evaluations. The company is still denying those claims.
Government safety experts have a warning for car buyers. They say when it comes to buying a used vehicle, what you see may not be what you get. Consumers are losing more than $10 billion a year from turned back odometers. Nightside's Andrea Gage has more on how to keep mile trimming from ripping dollars out of your wallet.
Mileage, mileage, mileage.
More than anything else, the miles on a car determine what it's worth. So how can you tell if you're paying the right price? Mechanics say it's simple.
Look at the trunk, look in the interior of the car, look in the back seat, look under the mats, and just sit there and think if the wear on the seats and the rugs and the carpet match the mileage of the car you're buying.
Sam White also says you should check the brake and gas pedal. The amount of wear and tear and the mark on the odometer should match.
If it doesn't, you need to run. You know, you need to run away.
Mechanics say you should use the vehicle identification number to check the car's history. If not, you could run into a problem. You can check out websites like Carfax or CarDetective.com to make sure the last owner didn't do something to make miles disappear. And before you make a deal, don't forget the value of a hands-on checkup. When Jessica Strickland found a car she liked, she learned some shocking news from her mechanic.
It looked great. It was beautiful, so I was excited. We brought it in. I came to see a mechanic, and he said that it had been wrecked.
Car dealers like Chuck Fairbanks say they welcome close inspection of their automobiles.
If a person takes the vehicle and takes it to a mechanic and has to check it out, a mechanic that they personally know and trust, then it makes it a whole lot easier for me.
For the News Leader, I'm Andrea Gage.
And here are those websites Andrea told us about. Log on to www.carfax.com or www.cardetective.com. Make sure to have your vehicle identification number ready.
Hundreds of Georgia school counselors are getting ready to better help their students. The annual Counselors Convention is underway in Columbus. Nightside's Joe Giles tells us what they're doing to keep our kids safe and productive.
This is a familiar scene for young people. The past few years of school violence has raised questions about how to help hurting students. For the answers, these school counselors packed into a room to hear a session called Inside the Heart of a Teenage Killer.
In light of the crisis management teams that we have in school because of school violence and the effort to keep school violence out of our schools in Muskogee County.
These counselors are not just learning about school violence. The conference is a chance to share ideas, techniques, and advice.
For a long time, we were told that we could not teach values. We could not deal in values. But we know now that we should have been doing a lot more of it, and some of us always have been. But it is a very basic value that a child has to respect self and others.
Counselors say parents should be teaching those values and be more involved in their kids' education.
I think that parents need to talk to their students and find out what's going on with them in school, know who their friends are.
Above all, these counselors say they just want to be ready.
But we want to be prepared, and we want to be in the best position to take care of our children.
One of the ways counselors plan to do that is to create crisis management teams. Now, those teams come up with step-by-step plans to react to different situations.
Okay, let's change gears for a moment, Joe. I would assume Georgia's new education reform rules were a topic of discussion.
They were, Wayne. In fact, the new rules require counselors to spend the majority of their day in direct contact with either students or parents. Unfortunately, though, many of the counselors also serve as school nurses, so that does limit their counseling time.
Joe Giles live from the newsroom. Thanks for that report, Joe.
Well, this was definitely a rainy, rainy day. Kurt's going to be along shortly to tell us what tomorrow holds.
And later, we'll have a top 10 list your child will find interesting. But first...
I'm Alicia Smith. SOA protesters are adding puppets to their parade. We'll take a look behind the scenes coming up on the News Leader.
If this is your name, you have 9 minutes to call 1-800-459-9886 to be a finalist in WTVM's free money big prize giveaway.
The 2001 Mercury Mountaineer Monterey. Now with 5.9% APR limited term financing and $1,000 cash back. Arrive in style. Live life in your own lane.
Oh my, look what's cooking at Fazoli's. Baked is back. Fazoli's Pizza Baked Spaghetti is back by popular demand. One deep, delicious dish of spaghetti smothered with Fazoli's own zesty pizza sauce with sausage, topped with cheese and pepperoni, then oven-baked to perfection. Hungry? Get to Fazoli's. Tell them you heard Baked is back. And you know there's nothing like Fazoli's Pizza Baked Spaghetti.
What kind of a company are we? We're a small-town banker, helping a farmer between bounty and drought. We're a capitalist on Wall Street, growing companies and a country. A lender, helping to buy a home. A financial advisor, planning a future. You'll find us in lumber mills, internet companies, and hospitals. From Florida to Connecticut. From the Carolinas to Texas. From Silicon Valley to Singapore to London. You'll also find us where you live. Who are we? We're First Union, one of America's largest and best financial institutions, helping our neighbors in every way we can. That's the kind of company we are.
You're watching WTVM News Leader Nightside with Wayne Bennett, Dee Armstrong, meteorologist Kurt Smith, and Robbie Watson with sports.
The School of the Americas protesters are getting ready for this weekend's rally. They're trying something new this year.
At the protest, you usually see white crosses, wooden coffins, and some banners. But as Nightside's Alicia Smith reports, you're going to see dozens of other attention-getters this year. How does puppets sound?
This isn't shop class. It isn't art class either.
Hey, Isaac! Ready for you, honey?
It's a staging ground for a political parade of puppets meant to capture the spirit of their cause.
This show is a call to see the face of death behind the School of the Americas and to close down that school.
If they're not paper macheing their message,
They're working pretty late last night.
they're spray painting it using stencils or dabbing their bristles in paint and brushing by hand. Both kids and adults.
Figure out all the little tricks that you have to do for each different puppet. But this one is pretty reliable.
Bruce Triggs is one of the organizers who's watched the movement rise, starting with the first puppet, Our Lady of Guadalupe.
See, if you do the wrists and you can control the wrists sideways here, kind of pat people on the head, shake hands with children. You can wave at people.
You guys got him?
The Head of Liberation is their largest symbolic puppet.
Chair opening.
Salvadoran folk art and birds of liberation are representing their forces of good. Large paper-mache masks and stick figure soldiers are representing their forces of evil. When they add a little marching music, the puppets are ready for parading. For the News Leader, I'm Alicia Smith.
Now, the protesters have been busy making the puppets at the Conania community outside Americas all week long.
And how's the weekend weather going to be?
A little of everything except warm weather.
Oh.
That it will not be. But we have sun coming in for the weekend.
Okay.
We also have rain coming back.
Oh, really?
The big question is, when is that going to happen?
Okay.
I don't know. We'll probably be able to answer that tomorrow. For the near term, though, we'll let you know when tonight's rain is about to leave. We're at 50 degrees as the SunTrust Skycam looks down on a rainy Columbus. Your forecast is next.
Looking for one more reason to shop at Ward's Best One Day Sale? Here's one. Here's another one. And another one. But here's the best one. It's our Best One Day Sale with our best prices, best brands, and best values at Ward's Best One Day Sale of the year. Saturday only. You can't get smarter than Ward's.
Looking to save more and spend less this holiday season? With the Chrysler Holiday Sale, you can do just that. Because now you can save over $2,300 when you buy a new 2001 Town & Country with 4.9% financing. Or choose a $299 lease on the award-winning 2001 Chrysler Voyager. So take advantage of the Chrysler Holiday Sale today for savings that let you spend more on a real holiday priority, yourself.
This WTVM weather forecast is sponsored by PowerTel.
Now, further analysis of our fourth quarter fiscal earnings
reveal a similar trend in that net earnings correlate directly in tangent to employee productivity.
Power Chat from PowerTel, a more discreet way to communicate.
PowerTel, we're on that.
Kurt Schmitz and the WTVM Storm Team, the region's weather leader.
Well, much of the day we've been watching rain march across the area, and it's left us with a pretty good rainfall over most areas. Notice, though, that a lot of it does start to break up as we get into the latter part of the evening hours, but there's still some around. Let's look at it live on Storm Track 9 radar, and from Columbus looking eastward, still some scattered showers, most of them very light. And as we look to the west over Alabama, everything moving west to east, we see a little bit heavier rain showers there, but still nothing that we would really call heavy. But these are going to continue to move through the area tonight. And if we look at the radar summary again, you can see that this extends actually back through Alabama. It does taper off a bit, but there are still a few lingering showers back into Mississippi and even Louisiana. So it's going to take a while, but we will be able to shake this system probably early in the day tomorrow. And as you'll see, all the rain should be gone by the time we get to the end of tomorrow. Very fast jet stream is sending things our way in a hurry and developing things quickly. This looks pretty impressive as we see all the clouds in the area, and we don't see a back edge to that, at least not yet. But tomorrow, though, we should see a return to some sunshine by late in the day at least. Temperatures have been staying pretty steady through the evening. In Columbus, we've been at 50 now since 5 o'clock. It hasn't changed a bit, and we're not going to drop a whole lot tonight. Other temperatures in the upper 40s. Generally, we're in the same range, although it is quite a bit milder down toward the Florida Gulf Coast, and they have had some thunderstorms down that way. Here's the low that's been bringing us all the rain. It remains very close to the coastline, sliding its way to the east, a rather complex-looking array of fronts over the eastern U.S. at this time, and some very cold air behind this system with temperatures in the single digits over portions of the Dakotas. We're going to see this thing track right on through here. By tomorrow morning, there may still be a little bit of rain lingering here, but as it continues to move out, the rain should leave, and high pressure, temporarily anyway, will take over. That may not return us to a lot of sun tomorrow, although I do think we will see some partial clearing. But clear skies are expected tomorrow night, and we will at least start Saturday with some sunshine. But we're watching the next one come our way. Again, we've got that very fast jet stream moving southwest to northeast through this area, and in fact right over us. So we'll wait to see the development of this next system out here producing rain in South Texas on into coastal Louisiana by late tomorrow. Now, I think it'll probably bring us a very good chance of rain over the weekend, most likely on Sunday, but also it could start as early as Saturday night. That's what we've been saying. Now some new model information that has come in indicates that it may get here even a little bit earlier than that. We'll have to wait and see. That may have implications for the Iron Bowl. We'll know more about that tomorrow. As far as tomorrow's highs go, though, another chilly one. We should mostly stay in the 50s. Let's take a look at our record book today. We had a high in Columbus of 57, and that was it. 43 was our lowest temperature this morning, and the last time I checked our gauge, we had just over a ½ inch of rain today. Occasional light rain continuing overnight. Look for a low no lower than about 49 degrees. Rain ending for good in the morning and mostly cloudy skies with 55 by noon. In the afternoon, some partial clearing with a high 59, and winds out of the northwest. They will pick up a bit at 10 to 18 miles an hour. 7-day outlook takes us all the way through Thanksgiving. We've got that rain coming in for Saturday night and Sunday, maybe lingering into Monday, and then fair skies after that. But temperatures will continue cool, especially cool on both Saturday and Sunday, barely making it out above 50 degrees, as a matter of fact.
That is chilly. Thanks, Kurt. Time now to check headlines from tomorrow's Ledger Inquirer. Columbus area schools were shut out of the top 20 in an independent ranking, but several schools did make Central Georgia's top 5. Find out which schools. A farm near Americus is steeped in history for its ties to civil rights. Find out how it'll play a role in this weekend's protest against the School of the Americas. And local football teams are running through the state playoffs. Details in your morning paper.
But coming up tonight in my special report, in this hurry up and get to it world, there are ways to release stress. We'll talk about that when we come back.
Try Fazoli's new Pizza Baked Spaghetti. It's spaghetti baked in hearty pizza sauce with sausage topped with cheese and pepperoni. Fazoli's. Real Italian, real fast.
man. You think so? Oh, yeah.
Play Fantasy 5 from the Georgia Lottery. What's your fantasy?
Exciting. Desirable. Impressive. Innovative. Comfortable. Rewarding. And we're just talking about the lease. Lease an Accord LX from Honda for $239 a month for 39 months. Now we'll talk about the car. Exciting. Desirable. Impressive.
Deck the halls with Estee Lauder fragrance. Pleasures. Beautiful. Dazzling silver and dazzling gold. And now celebrate with the chicest, shiniest gift of the season. Vanity of Vanities. A 35-piece collection filled with the latest shades for lips, cheeks, eyes, and nails. Worth $230, only $39.50 with the purchase of any of Estee Lauder's fabulous fragrances. Now at Dillard's.
His mouth's been watering. His stomach's been grumbling. And he wore his pants with the elastic waistband. New chicken strippers, real white breast meat cooked to a crispy golden brown. Crystal chicken strippers. How many do you need?
Perhaps the biggest complaint among adults in the United States is stress.
Stress, it's a problem. And in my special report tonight, I wish I had uncovered this magical thing that was going to tell us how to get rid of stress, but the truth is, what I found is that most of us just do not do the simple things that we need to do to get rid of those muscle aches and pains and the headaches and the stomach cramps that come with a stress overload.
Annie Dewberry has to move fast. She's a mother of two, and she starts her day about 6 o'clock to get here at WTVM by 8. Up the stairs, around the corner again. She's the traffic manager, responsible for making sure everything airs correctly. A little mistake by Annie could cost the station a lot of money.
If I put a wrong show on, I screw up. It's very difficult sometimes. You have a lot to do. You have to keep up with programming. You have to make sure you have the correct shows on and make sure all commercial run as scheduled.
Well, why is it off of the law for the... She and her assistant Lisa spend hours staring into the computer screen, filling up the seconds of TV airtime. Their hands and arms grow tired after a while. By the end of the day, Annie's ready to see her family. And her neck is stiff as a board.
Like right here in the back.
What does it feel like?
It's just like, it gets tension when you do that, it feels bad.
Too much stress can make your life a big mess. Now, most of us could reduce a lot of stress just by eating better. These popular pre-packaged foods are part of the problem. Nutritionists say because they don't have much fiber, we're not cleansing out our system like we should, and that fiber would actually help you to keep your weight down. They say the fats that are hidden in these products, even some of the diet products, make you feel lethargic by the end of the day and kind of sleepy. And there's a lot of sugar in most of them also, which first gives you a big high, then you have a low at the end of the day, even some depression. There's no way around it. You have to eat better, and we all need to drink a lot more water.
And many nutritionists are convinced coffee is linked to stress and mental illness, from simple depression to anxiety to overt psychosis.
The shoulders are a real clue that you're under stress.
Chiropractor Dr. Robert Feinberg says stress starts in the mind, so you have to identify what's causing it. He helps you learn how to relax your body.
But are my shoulders down? If they're not, then you just lower your shoulders.
Is there an immediate relief then?
Yeah. People, and they really get into it. The other thing you could do is check your jaw, because a lot of times the jaw will be tight also.
Dr. Feinberg's convinced touch is one of the most powerful ways of helping to ease tension. Here he's giving his wife a gentle massage, and he believes you should be giving them and getting them too.
Can't argue with that.
Just touching someone, relaxing each other.
I'll expect a back massage when we get off the set tonight.
Oh, I'll have to practice that. Maybe a shoulder massage at work. Well, a lack of exercise is a big problem, and not getting enough sleep. Most adults need 8 hours. They only get about 6 hours. And there are some other relaxation techniques that include tensing the body really tight for about 10 seconds and then relax. You can do that on the job. Breathing in deeply through the nose, not the mouth. Reading something like a scripture during a quiet time. Lying down and relaxing every muscle from head to toe. Now, there's a lot that you can learn, so if you'd like more information, I've compiled some sheets for you. I'll mail them to you on stress-reducing foods, exercise, and relaxation techniques. Just write me here at the station.
So, boss, if you come to the newsroom, we're all lying down.
Relax the shoulders.
We're just relaxing.
That's right.
Don't worry about it. We're not lying down on the job. Stay with us. The Columbus Cottonmouths will run into a roadblock.
And those Yellow Jackets getting technical down the stretch. Robbie's up next with sports.
Why travel for laser vision correction? Sure Vision Eye Institute offers world-class eye care Columbus style. Sign up for their next free seminar. Call 323-8127.
Looking to save more and spend less this holiday season? With the Jeep Holiday Sale, you can do just that. Because now, when you buy a 2001 Grand Cherokee with 4.9% financing, you can save up to $29.39 in finance charges. Or returning Daimler Chrysler lessees with preferred credit can lease a two-wheel drive model for $329 a month. So take advantage of the Jeep Holiday Sale today for savings that let you spend more on a real holiday priority, yourself. Now save up to $29.39 in finance charges.
Looking for the ultimate holiday gift? Introducing Stickmeister. It's a total body workout and a charming dinner companion. Why, you can throw away that remote. Who needs it? Every steak, well done. Thanks, Stickmeister. Works wonders in the kitchen. Wow, amazing. Now there's a fashion statement.
Give the gift that really is perfect. Holiday instant games from the Georgia Lottery. They're fun and they could be worth a lot, unlike some gifts.
Order today and you'll receive Magic Twig. Use only as directed.
I'm a child care director. In the summer, I drive buses and vans. We have a blast on these field trips. It's just as much fun for me as it is for them. Parents are entrusting me with the safety of their children, and we have to make sure we keep great tires on the van. But we trust Walmart to service our vehicle. They have name brand tires and they have great prices, and they're guaranteed nationwide. That's one reason we bought them.
Tires, oil changes, and more at Walmart Tire and Lube Express.
Because it's pretty precious cargo.
This WTVM Sportscast is sponsored by the new Dodge.
It changed the rules. And with each innovation...
This is a national sales alert from Dodge. Effective immediately, you can get low 0.9 financing for 60 months on 2000 Dodge Dakota and Dodge Durango. You can now save over $4,000 on Dakota and save more than $5,600 on Durango. You can still get 0.9 shorter-term financing on 2001 Dodge Ram or up to $2,000 cash allowance.
Magnum Power. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
Welcome back. Well, the Columbus Cottonmouths make it no secret they think Central Hockey League officiating leaves a little something to be desired. Tonight's game gave them plenty to beef about. Hey, never mind if they blew a 2-goal lead. Fayetteville scored the controversial game-winning goal with 8 seconds to go in the game. First it was called back, then it was final. The newest Cottonmouth continues to shine, though. Martin Menard, with his second goal in as many nights, has got 5 points. Now Columbus comes home this Friday to face Huntsville. Well, the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets could make history in Maryland this weekend. With a win, the 20th ranked Jackets will become only the 21st team in college history to reach 600, but it won't be a gimme.
With the way Maryland's playing right now, there's no way, if you look at tape and that players have that, you know, we're in for a tough ball game up there. A team, I think, that has an outstanding running back, and they run well. So we'll have our work cut out heading into College Park.
Kickoff's high noon, the Ramblin' Wreck. Well, odds makers kind of think they're going to run away with it, a 10-point favorite. And by the way, Chan Gailey, America's native, mentioned as the latest name to take over for Mike DuBose in Tuscaloosa. Oh. We'll keep you posted.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thanks, Rob. Well, is the rain out of here for good? Kurt's going to answer that question when we come back.
And we'll show you some of the toys that are not on Santa's list of favorites this year. Stay with us.
Remember, for the most up-to-the-minute weather information, call the WTVM forecast line, brought to you by Energy Savers, a Blue Dot Services company. Call 596-WTVM. Be the 9th caller now at 1-800-459-9886 and win $99 cash in WTVM's free money big prize giveaway.
Hi, I'm Dave Plata.
And I'm Robbie Watson. Friday on Sports Overtime, we showed you
Central's Nick McKissick helping the Red Devils sail past Baldwin County.
Walter Stahl breaking through as Brookstone claims the Brucelli jug.
Blake Mitchell strong-arming Jackson as LaGrange wins the region title.
And LaMarcus Roll and Opelika rolling past Foley in their state playoff opener.
Some of the games we'll have our eye on this week are Worth County at Shaw.
And Murphy at Opelika to join us for Sports Overtime Friday night during the News Leader Nightside.
Only on WTVM, the sports leader.
Trucks, trucks, and more trucks. Victory Ford has your truck, and we've got factory rebates up to $3,000 and finance rates as low as 0.9%. Get a new 2001 Expedition XLT from $29,800, or save big on this 2000 Ranger Super Cab for only $13,990. It's Victory Ford's November Super Truck Sale going on now at Victory Ford Lincoln Mercury in LaGrange, 1 mile west of I-85, exit 18. Call us at 888-882-9161. Victory Ford Lincoln Mercury in LaGrange. Hurry, sale ends Monday.
Looking for one more reason to shop at Ward's Best One Day Sale? Here's one. Here's another one. And another one. But here's the best one. It's our Best One Day Sale with our best prices, best brands, and best values at Ward's Best One Day Sale of the year. Saturday only. You can't get smarter than Ward's.
More people get their news from WTVM, the news leader, than any other source.
It changed the rules. And with each innovation...
This is a national sales alert from Dodge. Effective immediately, you can get low 0.9 financing for 60 months on 2000 Dodge Dakota and Dodge Durango. You can now save over $4,000 on Dakota and save more than $5,600 on Durango. You can still get 0.9 shorter-term financing on 2001 Dodge Ram or up to $2,000 cash allowance.
Magnum Power. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
A Boston consumer group has released its annual top 10 list of worst toys.
They say the toys listed may be dangerous for your kids, and the list includes Sesame Street's Check Up Ernie, Jungle Jim Jumpoline, Disney's Mickey Jack in the Box, The Simpsons Bart Action Set Slingshot, classic horror Psycho Saw, Warner Brothers cartoon character plush clocks, Little Big Truck, mock military bazooka, and Baby Looney Tunes pullback and go friction vehicle.
Buy them a hula hoop. Then they probably throw their back at them.
I saw that saw, and I'm thinking, what parent gives the kid a psycho saw?
Good point.
Well, tomorrow morning, we may see some lingering rain still left in the area. Should be on its way out, though, by wake-up time. Cloudy skies and temperatures not too chilly, about 49 degrees.
Playoffs start tomorrow in Georgia, Alabama. Of course, they continue. Join us, Sports Overtime, tomorrow.
Okay, wrapping up another edition of Nightside Nightline.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
This is a WTVM editorial with Vice President and General Manager Lee Brantley.
There's a new element to this year's School of the Americas Watch protest. Small units called affinity groups plan to take separate actions once the protesters cross the line to enter the post. Last year, 5,000 crossed the line. 65 were arrested and 10 were prosecuted. The rest taken by buses off post. However, this year, the affinity groups plan to do things like climbing trees to hang banners. Watch leaders have told them they will probably be arrested. Columbus and Fort Benning police are worried about the potential for violence posed by the affinity group actions. They're also concerned about the possibility of some outside groups coming in to deliberately cause violence. Watch leaders say they know of no such groups. The Watch stresses nonviolence and has training sessions in that. Still, with more than 15,000 people involved, the potential for disaster is there. Over the years, our Columbus and Fort Benning police have shown high professionalism in handling this situation, and none of the protesters has resorted to violence. We fervently urge participants on both sides to continue that tradition this year. Violence will not help either side.
This was an editorial comment from WTVM. Responsible comment is invited. Please send a written response to the WTVM Editorial Board, P.O. Box 1848, Columbus, Georgia, 31902-1848.
November 16th, 2000.
Florida's top court weighs in.